Liverpool, are they going to make it? I mean, this matchup on January 3rd with City is going to be quite telling. Hey there, I missed you. It's been a hectic holiday season. Apologies for not uploading as much, but I can promise you that I'll be going hard in January 2019 and in 2019 in general. My girlfriend is moving away in early January to start her new job in Montreal. So we've been making the most of the last of her days here on the west coast of Canada. So once she's gone, I'll have a good little cry because I don't know when I'll see her again, and real men cry. And then go in on Rabona TV content in 2019. Also, for career mode fans, the few of you that there are, my game capture isn't working, so I need to sit down and figure that one out. Just haven't had the time to do so lately because it's been so crazy. But hey, I'm stoked to get this weekend recap out, even though only 2 of the 4 top leagues were active this weekend, so we'll throw in some Celtic versus Rangers in there as well. Cool? Off to a rambly start, that's always a good thing. In fact, what better place to start than with Celtic versus Rangers? The Old Firm derby kicked off on Saturday around noon at the Ibrox, and the picture was clear for the blue side of Glasgow. Win, and you go level on points with Celtic. Celtic do have a game in hand, mind. Lose, and you're 6 points back, aka it was a 6-pointer, and I could have just said that. Anyway, Celtic looked decent to start, with Christie and Johnston combining well, but it was Rangers with the first legitimate chance when Craig Gordon, remember when he was the next big thing out of Scotland? Anyway, he had a great save on Morelos, and Candeias was just too late to put the rebound in. Minutes later, Gordon made another great save from Goldson's flicked header. Rangers were really up for it, something that you would expect out of a club managed by Steven Gerrard. I mean, he knows about getting fired up for a derby, doesn't he? Managing a blue team now, though. And in the end, it was Ryan Jack whose deflected effort beat Craig Gordon in the 31st minute. What a match this was, by the way. I hope you watched it. All credit for this goal has got to go to Ryan Kent, who turned loose stick inside out before cutting it back to Jack. Gerrard said that Rangers could have defeated Celtic by much more in this one, and I gotta agree with him. There were occasions where Celtic came close with a notable offside, etc., but they were easily second best in this one. Only 1 strike on target, whereas Gordon was a very busy boy. Oh, and Boyata was a bit of a liability back there for Celtic. 1-0 the final. Rangers on level points and undefeated in their last 6 matches, but again, Celtic do have a match in hand. In Italia, there were red cards galore. Well, 6 of them across the final 10 matches before the Serie A takes a 2-week break. One of those red cards came up in Chievo versus Frosinone, and I know, Adrian, who cares about these 2 bottom dwellers? They're in 20th and 19th respectively. Why even bother bringing it up? Great point, and I hear you on that one, but I thought it was worth mentioning that December 29th will henceforth be referred to as VSA Day, Victory in the Serie A Day, for all Chievo fans, as they got their first win of the season with a 1-0 drubbing of Frosinone. We'll call it a drubbing just for them on their special day. Shout out to E Musi Volanti. Napoli and Bologna played out to a 5-goal thriller in which some members of the crowd had good intentions, but went about things the wrong way here. I guess they do have a different experience in Italy with race relations and history as we do here in North America, etc., but still, hopefully we'll see less and less of this kind of thing in the future. Because again, I get that they thought they were showing support for Koulibaly by going in blackface, but from my personal point of view, doesn't look good. Anyway, Napoli ensured their fans had something to smile about as they got the win to ensure that Juve didn't stretch their lead even further going into the break. In doing so, Milik grabbed a brace, taking his tally to 10 in 16 Serie A appearances, while Mertens grabbed a goal and an assist himself, including an 88th minute winner. Good match. AC Milan got their first win since the beginning of December, a nice little bookend of wins, which will, I don't know, I guess make their fans happy, though there isn't much to be happy about there at the moment, in my opinion at least. But on top of getting the win, Higuain scored the winner, which is a positive as well. 31 shots after his last goal back in October against Sampdoria. 8 goals from 20 appearances so far. Not great, not bad, could be better. Mind you, Milan in general could be better. That's including Inter. We'll group them into that, who got a win over bottom dwellers Empoli to make it 3 wins and a draw in their last 4 matches. Keita got the winner in this one as Icardi has been invisible in the last 3 appearances he's made. No alarm bells just yet, but Inter fans will be hoping for a big turnaround in 2019, including from him. The league title is already out of reach, pretty much, as they're now, 14 points behind Juve? Yeah, math. I've got it. Oh, and speaking of Juve, they got a 2-1 win over Sampdoria thanks to a brace from Ronaldo. One cool finish, the first one, just a minute and a half in. And then the second was from the penalty spot, right down the middle. Sampdoria's first came from Fabio Quagliarella, who simply cannot stop scoring right now. He scored in 9 straight matches for Sampdoria, as his career has been rejuvenated with the club from Genoa. That's 10 of his 12 Serie A goals that have been scored in the last 9 matches, man. Incredible. Sampdoria fans also had to go through the heartbreak of having a goal called back for offside in the second half stoppage time. What a goal it was, by the way. Ultimately, VAR helped make the right call though, as heartbreaking as it was for the visitors, as I just said. And so, in Italy, going into the break, Ronaldo was the top scorer with 14 goals to Piantek's 13. Suso has the most assists with 8, while unbeaten Juve have a 9-point lead over Napoli, and Napoli have a 5-point lead over third-placed Inter. Alright, let's talk England now as the flurry of matches continues, and I was actually able to watch a bunch of matches live this weekend, which was a welcome change from the previous one where we had no power, so I couldn't watch anything. Had to watch a whole bunch of highlight packages and condensed matches after that on the Sunday. Anyway, first off, let's talk about the big result of the weekend. Wolves blitzing Tottenham for the 3-1 win. I know, it wasn't the big matchup of the weekend, I was joking, but still a huge result, not only for Wolves, but for Liverpool as well. Oh, and it was also Pochettino's first loss against a newly promoted side since he's taken over at Spurs. Maybe even in his entire managerial career, I don't know. After Kane scored a pearler in the first half for his 13th goal in 20 Premier League appearances, only good enough to tie for top scorer, mind you, Wolves came out flying in the second half, with Willy Boly getting things started with a bullet header in the 72nd, then Kane dropped an incredible dive, dropped right to the floor and was carded for his troubles. He's quite the flop artist, that one. There's some good compilations of him diving. 2 minutes later, Jimenez, who sometimes struggles to string 3 passes together, smartly struck through the legs of Alderweireld and passed Lloris to make it 2-1, and Helder Costa finished them off after a great through ball by Matt Doherty. 3-1 Wolves, massive result, and they're looking good value for their 7th place position at the moment. Could they get Europa? Yes. Chelsea went away to Crystal Palace, a team that loves to make things difficult for the big boys, and they did just that, though perhaps not difficult enough for the Blues, as N'Golo Kante scored his 3rd Premier League goal of the season, matching his tally for the previous 3 seasons combined. I still think that it's a shame that one of the world's best defensive midfielders is being played out of position, but I'm willing to see where Sarri goes with this one and to see how he can turn Kante into a decent attacking midfielder. Can he reach the heights as an attacking midfielder as he has as a defensive one? It'd be pretty amazing if he did. Manchester City, after losing 3 of their previous 4 matches, were looking to bounce back against Southampton, a team who defeated Arsenal not too long ago. But despite the Saints causing some problems here and there, this match was almost entirely City. David Silva, fresh off of getting some hair for Christmas, also received a gift from his buddy Bernardo for the opener, while Sergio Aguero put out a man-of-the-match performance with 1 strike off the bar, love that, and 1 in the back of the net. 3-1 final there, and a relief for Pep going into Thursday's match against Liverpool. City's crosstown rivals continued their insane form under Solskjaer, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, to you. I mean, it helps that they have been playing against teams in the bottom half of the table, of course, but under Mourinho, they were conceding a lot and not scoring very many. So De Gea still hasn't seen a clean sheet since what feels like 2002 now. In reality, his last one was a 0-0 draw with Palace at the end of November. Anyways, United won 4-1 thanks to incredible performances from Rashford and Pogba once again. Hell, even an offside Lukaku got a goal with his first touch, no less. But Pogba and Rashford were the stars, with Bailly getting bored and getting himself sent off so he could get home quicker. Pogba involved in 3 goals with a brace and an assist, meaning he's been involved in 7 goals in 3 matches for Solskjaer. The first United player to score multiple goals in consecutive games in the Premier League since 2012 when Fergie was around, and I believe it was Wayne Rooney who did it at that time. Insane, man. This is the player, talking Pogba now, not Rooney, that United fans thought they were getting. A true player to build a team around, and it just goes to show you that you have to give him a relatively free role. He was everywhere, bombing forward, getting some great tackles in, important tackles at times. Give him a license to do as he pleases, and he'll give you this. Now, can he do it against the top opposition? Remains to be seen. Since Ole has taken over, United have conceded 3 goals and scored 12 now. 12 goals in 3 matches, which make up 27.5% of United's Premier League goals so far this season, which is insane. Next up, they have Newcastle away, and then the big match against Spurs, where, hell, they could come out on top of that one, where if you'd asked me how they'd do with Mourinho around a few weeks ago, I'd probably shudder. And finally, Liverpool hosted Arsenal, and at the beginning of this one, it looked like Arsenal would nick a point, with Maitland-Niles opening things in the 11th minute. But that was just a false dawn, as Firmino grabbed the match by the scruff of the neck and took the frail Arsenal defense to the cleaners. The first had a touch of good fortune, but the second was class, and Socrates on his ass. Socrates was in fact an ass all game, really, as he was responsible for giving Liverpool a penalty later on, not before Salah's deft first-time square to Mane gave Liverpool a 3-1 lead. Firmino, Mane, Salah, all scoring. But back to the penalty. Some said it was dubious and claimed that Lovren's was as well, but on both occasions, you've seen that given time and time again, namely the first one, as the second was definitely weaker. Socrates is just asking for the referee to award a penalty when you bundle into a player clumsily like that. The solution to it is, don't put the referee in a position to give that penalty. Same goes to Kolasinac. Don't shove a guy in the back, then get confused when the referee gives a penalty. It's just foolish behavior. And Arsenal never looked like they had a response to Liverpool. Like I said, they looked frail in defense and just miles and miles and Maitland-Niles behind Liverpool on the pitch. In fact, I was talking to my Liverpool supporting friend, Russ, about the match, shout out to Russ again, and how there was a moment in the particular that summed up the entire affair. It was in the second half when Salah backheeled the ball past Koscielny through to Fabinho and had his shot saved by Leno. As Salah did that, Koscielny just shrugged his shoulders as in like, what the f am I supposed to do here? It's hopeless kind of way. And that was pretty much a great representation of the entire match. Liverpool buzzing around with flicks and tricks, and Arsenal unable to touch them really, just looking sluggish. Even Torreira didn't look that great for Arsenal. 5-1 Liverpool, 7-point lead on City, and things are looking up. They look like legitimate title winners to me, and it's their title to lose, in my opinion. I don't think it will be a massive margin that they win it by, as City are also legitimate contenders still, but based on what we've seen from this unbeaten side, it will take some doing to knock them off their perch, as Salah, Mane, and now also Firmino are all in great form. Their defense is solid, Alisson is massive, their midfield looks great with Fabinho and Wijnaldum churning out great performance after great performance, etc. Things are all trending in the right direction, and I've probably jinxed them, so I apologize in advance to all Liverpool fans. Anyways, I've blabbed on and on with this one, so I'll shut up now. Go do something else. But I want to wish you guys a very happy new year. Please enjoy it, surrounded by the people you love and admire. Stay safe. I love ya. Call your mother. And take care. Bye.